Krystal Ball and Kyle Kulinski are fucking frauds. And the candidate that they're backing for president is also a fucking fraud. That's why I say RFK Jr. all the way. What's up, everybody? It's Zach The Celtics Guy here, back with another video. Welcome to the Global Report with Zach The Celtics Guy. Well, this is going to particularly focus on some domestic issues and probably some international issues too, but we'll just see how the video goes. Like I said, I do these global reports and these rants in general. I just basically do them off the cuff. Whatever comes my way, whatever comes into my windshield, oh, it's like while I'm driving this van of craziness here, it's just driving. It's just like all of a sudden I'm driving along. I'm just over here and driving along, and all of a sudden, and just I'm driving along, and all of a sudden I have to make a sudden turn, and I see something that really comes across my radar. Then yeah, whatever comes in front of me, I'll talk about it. So, with regards to Krystal and Kyle, now, I've kind of sort of gave constructive criticism with regards to Revolutionary Blackout Network on their coverage of Krystal and Kyle, getting married, Krystal Ball and Kyle Kulinski getting married and whatnot. Okay, the substance of what they were saying, I stand by. All Nick and CJ and Sabby Sabs to a lesser extent, well, it was more Nick Cruz and CJ were really more or less talking about Krystal and Kyle just being fucking frauds. I, in all honesty, just say, whatever. They get married. I say kind of leave that part out of the equation, whatever. But the substance of Krystal Ball being a fucking fraud and a cuck for the establishment, yeah, no, I'm totally on board here. Because Krystal Ball is. I debunked Krystal Ball's interview with RFK Jr. and how she sounded like a fucking MSNBC host. She had blatant conflict of interest with RFK Jr. and she's backing the establishment candidate for president. Marianne Williamson, and this is something that the Vanguard does. This is something that Gavin and Zach on the Vanguard do. Which, like I said, I'm cool with the Vanguard. They're pretty alright. I have my disagreements with them for sure. But they seem to get upset when others are calling out Marianne Williamson, when others are calling out Krystal Ball. And because Kim Iversen, who I'm also a massive fan of, I fucking love Kim Iversen. She is dope sauce. Highly recommend her. Subscribe to her. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's like Kim Iversen, go subscribe to. But the point of this is just, yes, Krystal Ball was advocating for lockdowns during COVID. She was. So wasn't Kyle Kulinski. Kyle Kulinski was. I remember his videos on COVID. You can go back and listen to videos of him back in 2020. Kyle Kulinski was advocating for fucking lockdowns 100%. He was advocating for just obsession over the COVID vaccine. He was going on and on and on. He was a fucking cuck with regards to COVID. Whereas people like Jimmy Dore and me and others were calling this shit out. Kim Iversen was calling this out. The Gray Zone was calling this out. And of course they get called anti-fucking vaxxers when that's not the case. We just want people to make their own health choices. Lockdowns and vaccine mandates are not going to stop fucking COVID. They were not going to stop COVID. What was really going to stop COVID and what would have saved lives is if the U.S. had universal health care. Universal health care would have saved up to 330,000 lives. That's why 1 million people died. Not because we didn't have fucking lockdowns. Sweden didn't even lock down. Sweden didn't have lockdowns. And I don't even think, did they even have mask mandates? I don't know. I'm not going to say it without evidence, obviously. But you want to make this argument? Kyle Kulinski was making this argument. That's not the point. That's really not the point of this. It's just the fact that people are going and saying, oh my God, Kim Iversen, and then this is the tweet from the Vanguard. Kim Iversen, Jimmy Dore, and Sabby Sabs are straight up lying when they say that Krystal Ball pushed for lockdown, school closings during the pandemic. Do your research before putting forth such a lazy smear. No, Gavin and Zach, that's not a lazy smear. That's actually the truth. Remember fucking Anthony Fauci. Remember that fucking goddamn fraud? This fucking goddamn blowbag who thought that he fucking knew everything? He's like, oh, we need to lock down all the schools. And then what does he say? I never said I was for locking anything down. Well, Did Anthony Fauci say that? Serious consequences. Serious consequences if U.S. locks down, exits lockdowns too early. I never said I was for locking anything down. It's no different. You can try to talk your way out of it, but we're not going to forget what you fucking said. Just like with Krystal Ball. I don't even know if Krystal Ball advocated for lockdowns. And it's like, in all honesty, I don't even fucking give a rat's ass if she advocated for it or not. It doesn't fucking affect my life one way or the other. It's just the fact that Krystal Ball is calling RFK Jr. an anti-vaxxer, and he's saying all this fucking defamatory shit when it's not even the case. Because Krystal Ball is an establishment puppet. So isn't Kyle Kulinski. Remember Kyle Kulinski? Oh, why is it a bad thing to give them defensive weapons? Referring to Ukraine with the whole fucking Russia-Ukraine war, the NATO proxy war. Why don't they ever seem to mention that one? Why don't they? Why doesn't he seem to mention all the history that predated the Russian liberation? And I'm going to call it a fucking liberation. I'm not even going to call it an invasion. Because like I said, Russia is liberating Ukraine from a threat that was on their border. The Azov Battalion and the NATO aggression against Russia was a threat. It was a legitimate concern, security concern that Russia had, but they denied it. So here's this fucking goddamn fraud, Anthony Fauci, saying that we should totally not exit lockdowns too early. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole point of this. Says, fine if GOP calls to testify on him. GOP calls on him to testify about the origins. I have not lied before Congress. And then what does he do? He ends up stepping down. He ended up stepping down later. Oh my God. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a perfect example of that.
Whenever we public health officials talk about implementing public health measures, people think that we want to shut the country down. We don't want to do that. We want to use public health measures.
Really?
What I've expressed then and again is my concern that if some areas, cities, states, or what have you, jump over those various checkpoints and prematurely open up. Whenever we public health officials talk about implementing public health measures, people think that we want to shut the country down.
See what I mean? So yeah, Kyle Kulinski was saying the same thing. I can't even link one particular video. Do you know why? Because it was all the videos. All of his COVID videos on 2020, he was advocating for fucking lockdowns. So I'm sick and tired of hearing the whole Marianne Williamson is great because I'm defending her. Oh, she's great because she's on my side. I like her because it's like whatever. Okay, whatever. You like her. It's a fucking sports team. It's a sports team. Do you know that Marianne Williamson is comparing Putin to a neocon? Do you know that she's repeating CIA talking points about Putin and Russia? Do you know that Marianne Williamson said on May 10th, 2000, she said this 2 weeks ago, quote, Putin's talking points are no better than neocon lies. I see through both. No, Putin is fighting the neocons, aka the Azov battalion and the fascists in Ukraine. He's a capitalist, but he's fighting the fascists. Say what you will about him. I certainly have my disagreements with him, especially the fact that he's a capitalist and I'm a socialist. But yeah, no. Putin is not a neocon. You're more of a neocon than he is. And that is a fact. And I still support RFK Jr. over Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson, from what I heard, has also said pro-Israel things as well. She throws the anti-Semitic card around. You're shocked. I hear both sides on the BDS argument. One thing I'm clear about is that Twitter is not a good place to discuss Israel and Palestine. Yeah, no shit. Twitter's not a good place to really discuss anything. I've offered my platform as a place for an enlightened conversation about this, and I offer again, anyone who wants to can take me up on this. Oh, you want to hear both sides of the BDS movement? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no such thing as a both sides thing on BDS. BDS is a legitimate political movement that aims to bring peace and harmony to the oppressed people in the Palestinian territories, to the people in Gaza, to the people in the West Bank that are getting occupied by the apartheid terrorist state of Israel at the expense of American taxpayer dollars. So yeah, more of my tax dollars that I'm fucking paying is going over there. And it's all going over to Ukraine. Meanwhile, no money to fix our structurally deficient bridges, no money to fix our lack of clean drinking water and drinking water that looks like fucking oil in Mississippi, in Flint, Michigan, in Chicago, and a bunch of other places. No money for that, but plenty of money to send over there. You're kidding. Krystal Ball has no idea what she's talking about. Krystal and Kyle have no idea what they're talking about. Even though I had my disagreement on how RBN went about it with regards to them getting married, because in all honesty, I said, I don't care. They got married, whatever. I say, who cares? But you want to know who else said that? Jimmy Dore also said that.
Supposed to be gathering and publishing his opinion off over and over and asked how to debate the topic that she just brought up to debate. Then she cut him off over and over and asking him to answer questions.
Referring to RFK Jr., that I also debunked on one of my latest streams.
So brutal. You're supposed to be gathering and publishing his opinion. So, I told you I was going to talk to you about her conflicts of interest, right? So, she has a conflict of interest because she's good friends with a presidential candidate, Marianne Williamson. She's running in the Democratic Party against RFK Jr., and she officiated at her most recent wedding. She got married to Kyle Kulinski, and Marianne Williamson officiated the wedding. Now, I don't care. I didn't mention it on this show. I don't care.
And okay, Jimmy didn't mention that. Okay, that's a good thing on his part. Okay, RBN did that. I disagreed with that. The Vanguard was talking about it. But I honestly think they were kind of blowing it out of proportion. Even though I did agree with the Vanguard on that one thing that, the RBN, the way they were going about it, I didn't agree with. Yeah, I agree with that. But in all honesty, let's be real. It's only beef between RBN and the Vanguard. That's really all it is. Like, let's call a spade, okay? I personally like them both personally, but I'm obviously way more on the side of Jimmy Dore and RBN than I am with the Vanguard. Sorry, Gavin and Zach, you're nice guys, but I obviously side with them more on policy than I do with you guys. Even though I do agree with you guys quite a bit, but sorry, I'm kind of more on the RBN Jimmy Dore train. Sorry. And also on the Kim Iversen train as well. So no, what she was doing was horrible. What Krystal did was shitty. She would not let RFK Jr. talk. She was throwing CIA talking points down his throat and had no idea what she was talking about.
Breaking big stories. She was good friends with the people that she covered that burst to the fore in the year 2000. Totenberg's wedding was literally presided over Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Everyone thought it was weird, but her defenders said, hey, if you call that into question, your journalistic ethics, you're a sexist. Even then, it was a potent attack, so official Washington just moved on, at least until now. She's considered a massive...
So there she is talking about He's talking about another journalist being friends with the people she covers. So apparently it was a problem then, but I guess it's not a problem now that Krystal's doing it. I didn't have a problem with it. They have a problem with it. So that's one conflict of interest that people are talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean? Like, Krystal and Kyle, I don't care. Whatever. You get married, you find love. Good for you. That's great. Good for you. Whatever floats your boat. But let's be real. Krystal and Kyle are the same talking heads. They're the same talking heads for each other. That's obviously what they are. And I really didn't listen to RBN's video that much. I was only hearing snippets of it. And yeah, sure, I didn't agree with the substance of it. But in all honesty, I think their intent was there. I think they were making a good point that, yeah, maybe they're made for each other. Maybe that's the reason they're getting married. I don't know. Whatever. Whoever they get married to, whoever they do, it ain't any of my fucking business. I don't give a shit. I'm a gay man. You think I care? I'm the last person to care about what you do in your bedroom. What straight people do in their bedroom? Hey, yeah, please. It's just, we are attacking them on policy. That's what Jimmy Dore is doing. Whatever RBN did or whatever RBN is going to do, whatever the folks at RBN do, who I am a big fan of, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. Whether I agree or disagree is going to depend on the video and is going to depend on that substance in particular. But Jimmy Dore had nothing to say about them getting married. Jimmy Dore is only criticizing Krystal Ball on the issues. Just like Kim Iversen was calling them out as well. Kim Iversen never said anything about them getting married. Kim Iversen never brought that up one fucking time. So whether or not RBN did that, I have my disagreement with it, but whatever. It literally came and went so fucking quick. I was a little annoyed by it because I'm like, all right, if we're going to attack them, let's attack them on the policy. Let's not attack them on them getting married. Who cares? That's really all I was saying. That's what I said to the Vanguard, and then the Vanguard and I and a few others, and they were like, haha, yeah, we agree on this one thing. High fives, like, well, whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, yep. I'm like, you guys are cool, whatever. Yep, this is where you and I might see common ground, but sorry, I still kind of like those guys, but whatever, besides the point.
Congress, she was pushing for charter schools, and she was also had stock in, well, here, so Kim Iversen,
Kim Iversen, or Iversen, however you pronounce her name. Maybe that is, I don't know.
Talks about how she advocates for things that she makes money from. Like when she advocated for lockdown, she advocated for charter schools, she advocated for a lot of things, and she doesn't tell people that while she's advocating for lockdowns and everybody to get vaccinated because you can't go back until. So here's what Kim Iversen had to say about it.
January. So first she gets, sells penny stocks for a company that pushes online learning. Then her and her husband develop educational software for online distance learning. Then her husband, her ex-husband, I should say, but while still her husband.
So she's heavily into online distance learning, advocating for lockdowns.
Yeah, that's what it means. How else do you interpret it?
During the pandemic, becomes founder and CEO of a company called Cognotion, which is a digital training program to give, interestingly, frontline healthcare workers a way to become educated during the pandemic.
So her husband was the head of this company that does this kind of online learning that would also benefit from lockdowns.
Yeah, capitalism. They benefited from the lockdowns. Big pharma, for-profit health insurance companies, and businesses that got destroyed by these fucking lockdowns. Businesses, small businesses getting undermined, and big businesses buying them up. Yeah, that's who profited it. Kim Iversen, what she said in the little clip there, she said, Krystal Ball, quote unquote, interviews, using the fucking air quotes, interviews RFK Jr. on vaccines, which I think is pretty funny. The way it's air quotes. Air quotes.
When you are pushing for children to not be in school, one of the most devastating, I would say, events, one of the most devastating policies that's happened to our society was lockdowns. more damage has been done to people because of lockdowns than I would think nearly anything that we've seen in our lifetimes. And she pushed for those and failed to disclose that she was making money off of distance education. That to me is a major conflict of interest.
Wow.
That to me maybe plays into the then push for, everybody needs to get vaccinated because we can't go back. We can't go back until everyone's vaccinated, knowing not everyone's going to be vaccinated. 30% of people are going to say, I'm not doing that. And so
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for my job, and if it was because I work in child family services. I work closely with DCF. So, also not to mention the fact that I have several people in my family with pre-existing conditions. My aunt, my grandmother, my grandparent, my grandfather, to a lesser extent than my grandmother, but several people. And I wouldn't have gotten the vaccine if that was the case. But no, Kim Iversen is calling her out on the facts. Did Krystal Ball actually benefit from this type of thing? Or if anybody did, you're benefiting off of the pain of others. And do you know how fucked up and fucking screwed up that is? That is so messed up on a whole nother level. And Kim Iversen is calling her out on the facts. Okay? So I don't care. Whatever. The Vanguard doesn't like it. Whatever. Deal with it. Who cares? Maybe you just don't like it because you're biased in favor of Krystal Ball. I'm sorry. As someone who is a watcher of the Vanguard and watches Gavin and Zach very frequently, I can say, yeah, you probably need to look in the mirror and say, I don't like it when Krystal Ball is called out. I do not like it when my side is called out. I don't like it when this side, Kyle Kulinski, gets called out. I don't like it. Okay, whatever. You got to put it into perspective. You just have to put that into perspective. That's all you got to do. And whether or not you like it or not, well, what is there to say? You don't like it? Well, whatever. Facts don't care about your feelings. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Continue this narrative, and you could continue saying we've got a lockdown, we're not going back, nope, it's not safe, get vaccinated or else we're all staying locked down. By the way, keep your kids out of school, and here's some educational software I want to sell you.
Yeah, here's some educational software I want to sell you and make more fucking money off of privatized education and charter schools and shit like that. You know, in Australia had their draconian lockdown measures, and they were arresting people, and they were forcibly detaining people in camps who didn't take the vaccine and to escape lockdown. Yeah, I criticized that. You know who else I criticized? I also criticized China for that. Yeah, I also said that. So why is it that the people, when Western governments do it, it's great. When China does it, it's bad. No. When China did it, I disagreed with it. When Australia did it, when the UK did it, when other states did it, I disagreed with it. Even Massachusetts adapted some of these fucking measures that were stupid. My former governor, Charlie Baker, who I was a massive fan of, and I still am. But guess what he did? He did some silly things with regards to COVID, and I disagreed with it vehemently, and I called him out for it, even when it was unpopular at the time, and I didn't give a shit. Just like I didn't care when I called out the sarin chemical hoax, when I called the fucking sarin chemical attacks staged. I said it when it was popular, unpopular. I don't care. Popular, unpopular. It's just, I call it like I see it, and that's the end of it.
Conflict of interest that I think should be disclosed. So,
yeah, I think it really should be disclosed. No, Kim Iversen, good for her for calling this shit out. I don't care who doesn't like it. You like Marianne Williamson, whatever. You like Krystal Ball, whatever. That's fine. But this is the facts, people. What is Kim Iversen going to gain by lying about this? What is anyone going to gain by lying about someone profiting off of something else? You're not. What are you going to gain? What do you think Kim Iversen is going to gain from this? What is Jimmy Dore going to gain from this? Do you think that we gain something from just making shit up? No, that's not what we do. That's not what I do. I don't even make money off of doing this. I do it for fun. I do it for fun. It's a hobby. It's an interest. I consider my YouTube channel to be like an art. My global reports, my other videos, my streams, the podcast I do every Monday and Thursday with all my homies, that I do with Nicholas, that I do with Joey, that I do with Adam, that I do with Dark Reaper, Forbidden Giorno, that I do with all my other homies on here. It's an art, and it's a fun thing. Do you think that we're profiting off of this? Do you think that we're just doing it because we want to? No, that's not how we do it. We call it like it is. We call it like we see it. And if you get offended by that, well then, I think you need to put your biases in favor of Marianne Williamson and Krystal and Kyle to the side. Just like whether or not you have your little fifis with regards to Sam Cedar and Bill Maher or some other stupid shit like that. You really like Sam Cedar, but you don't like it when Bill Maher says something that you don't agree with. And like I said, that's a whole nother different conversation with regards to Bill Maher and Sam Cedar. They both got their problems, trust me. Especially Sam Cedar. Don't even get me fucking started on that loser. No, it's like someone like that. It's just, the whole thing is ridiculous. I'm going to talk about the whole Sam Cedar and Bill Maher thing in another video. I've done other videos about that, but that's besides the point. Maybe in another video. Maybe in another video here soon. But yeah, yeah. So now, Jimmy Dore, Krystal Ball. Wait, Jimmy Dore versus Krystal Ball. Pretty funny. Kim Iversen, good for her. Kim Iversen, or however you pronounce her name. But either way, I'm a big fan of her. I watch her pretty frequently. I watch all these guys frequently. Subscribe to them, and I appreciate them from calling this stuff out. No disrespect to the Vanguard. I do like them personally, but I'm sorry. I'm just not with you on this, guys. I'm just like I'm not with you on certain issues, and this is one of them. But you know what? We live and we let live. So now, Jimmy Dore, Kim Iversen, and RBN for the win. And Sabby Sabs, another big YouTuber I'm a big fan of, also for the win. Well, that's about it for now. I'm going to end this video here at the 27-minute mark so I can save up storage on my phone. I have to clear up more fucking videos on my phone and whatnot. Anyway, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Look out for it. I definitely got more topics to discuss. I'm going to do a video on the whole, I'm going to do more detailed information about Sam Cedar versus Bill Maher and other, shit libs going after other shit libs. I definitely have another segment about that. Stay tuned for that. More stuff on the way. This is Zach The Celtics Guy saying thank you for watching. Link in the description to all this information. And I will see you all in the next one, including my live stream tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well, stay classy. And until next time, as always, keep fighting and keep on rocking. See you all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and see you next time in the next video. Till next time, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Keep fighting. Keep on rocking. So long, good night, and peace out.